Hey guys, I've had a few people talking to me about different car shows I've been to, different car museums I've been to, and that kind of leads to this topic. A couple years ago, coming back from Yellowstone National Park, coming through South Dakota, we saw a sign for the Murdo Pioneer Auto Museum. Now, Murdo is a little town of less than 300 people. And when I mean it's in the middle of nowhere, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like 2 hours from Rapid City and 2 hours from the east border of South Dakota. But the nice part about Murdo is there's an auto museum called the Pioneer Auto Museum. When you go in there, it's set up with different buildings that have different eras of cars in them, but then it also has little buildings that look like a church, or a schoolhouse, or a dentist's office, or a caboose from an old train, and that is because they are legit buildings that were bought by the Pioneer Auto Museum and put down there. When you come in to the museum, there's a front desk and there's an older gentleman who's been there as long as I can remember, who shows you into the first room. And in the first room is a screen-used 1969 Dodge Charger General Lee. And if you ask them real nice, they'll push the horn and it'll play Dixie. Behind that car is a replica Smokey and the Bandit 77 Firebird Trans Am. So they're right in front of each other. It's pretty cool. On top of the cars, when you go into the next room, there's antiques, there's movie memorabilia. I'm a big fan of a sci-fi movie from 1979 made by Walt Disney called The Black Hole. Not a lot of merchandise was made for this movie as the movie didn't do very well. Well, they have lines and lines of lunch boxes, old school metal lunch boxes from when we were kids. And they had two that were for the movie The Black Hole. Well, I've been going to this museum off and on because I really love it enough that I'm willing to go back. It's that good that they have these lines up on the ceiling in the second room of lunch boxes. And I asked them out of the blue, I was like, you got two of these Black Hole lunch boxes, would you sell one? And I was just asking for fun, and sure enough, $40 later, I've got it in my collection down in my office. Well, if you go into the third room, again, there's old vintage pinball and arcade games, a lot more movie memorabilia. The American Pickers that are on the History Channel, they've donated things, and it says so on the plaques on the walls. When you go around the corner, you get to the first garage, which is about 6 or 7 cars. There's a Hemi Roadrunner, there's a 69 GTO Judge, there's a Shelby GT500 Mustang. But the crazy part is if you turn around and look at the wall behind those cars, Jar Jar Binks, a giant Jar Jar Binks statue from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So there's all kinds of things, it's very eclectic. Then you come outside and you see these buildings. And they have a small one-room schoolhouse and a small one-room church that used to be on the prairie that they actually paid the money to uproot the whole thing and rebuild it on their property. There's another room full of all types of muscle cars, everything from a Dodge Daytona Plymouth Superbird to an AMC Rebel Machine. That's the name of the car, the Rebel Machine, in red, white, and blue. They've got buildings full of things that you haven't seen before, steam-powered cars, Model A's, Model T's. But one of the coolest things they have is they have like a barn in the back that is set up, what kind of looks like overflow, but they have cool stuff like an AMC Gremlin, AMC Pacers. And to the back, they have a barn where they have kind of their catch-all, all of the random stuff they have. But they've got some cool stuff like 2 Edsels, AMC Gremlins, AMC Pacers. They have a Renault LeCar. When is the last time you saw a LeCar? I haven't seen one except at this museum. But then, of course, they have the buildings, like I said, that look like a schoolhouse or a church, and that's because that's what they are. In the church, there's a bell in the steeple, and you can ring that. They have a building that used to be a post office, train station depot. There is one little room that's set up with all the old stuff from a dentist's office. That's not exactly my favorite thing to go look at. It's kind of creepy. There's a caboose from a train. And when you go there, you realize not everything about this place is perfect. Not everything. Like, there's stuff that needs a little more upkeep, but they're doing the best they can. And I'll tell you, you know, to go there from where we live here in Iowa, it's a 7-hour drive, and 3 hours of it is in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. But it is so worth it that I've been there 3 or 4 times. I stay at the same hotel. It's really enjoyable. So I would say, as car museums go, this is probably one of the better ones by far. I have recommended it to my friends. I've been maybe 4 times. Last year I went twice. I went with my friend Heath, and then my fiance and I took my mother, because my father's gone, we took my mother out there. So if you guys are ever bored and you're on a trip, whether going through South Dakota or you just want somewhere to go that's kind of unique, check out Murdo, South Dakota. Check out the Pioneer Auto Museum. All right, see you later, guys.